Hi, I'm Saurabh and I'm here to help you expand your vocabulary by discussing a few words on the theme of movement. So, the way I have developed my vocabulary is by creating a theme and attaching words to it. So, for example, when we talk about the theme of movement, the movement can be unsteady in nature, movement can be gracious in nature, it can be quick in nature. So, this is just a variation of the movement that we will be discussing. So, let's discuss the 20 words that can help you learn the various ways of movement and help expand your vocabulary. So the first word is stagger, starting with the unsteady kind of movement. Stagger, to reel from side to side, to move on unsteadily. So an example to remember this word would be the drunk man staggered towards the door. Next word is trundle. Trundle is to progress by revolving, to move as if on wheels. So a good example to help you remember it is the fat man trundled through the market. You can have a visualization of what trundling would mean, and I have used some of the examples that I've read in newspapers to help me remember this word better. India goes into the event believing they've got the best chance ever. They've always been good at conning themselves. Every World Cup year sees the nation auto suggesting itself into the role of a world champion, only to be trundled out of reckoning at various stages of event. That's a bit harsh on India's hopes for winning a World Cup. The context here was the World Cup that is played the 50 over format. Next, let's discuss the word waddle. Uh, Waddle is to walk with short steps, swinging from side to side like a duck. And the usage that I liked is the corpulent friends waddled away. So you can have a visualization, and the fat staff director waddled away at what for him was full speed. That's a funny one. And next is milling, to move in a circle or in an eddying mass, wander. So it's a way of movement that is movement in circles. I took a gulp of the blackest tea I had had in years and tried to think of Soraya of the General and Khala Jamila of the novel that needed finishing. I tried to watch the traffic bolting by the street, the people milling in and out of the little sweet shops. So that's the way it describes the movement of the crowd. Next, we have a relaxed form of movement called amble or stroll or saunter. It's to walk in an idle and leisurely manner. An example would be he or she sauntered slowly down the street. So it's like an evening walk. Sinuous. Now coming to movement called gracious movement. So sinuous, turning while moving in an elegant way. The sinuous grace of a catwalk, sinuous course of a river. So I hope you get that. Next is prance, to move quickly with exaggerated steps so that people will look at you. And the example that I has helped me to remember it, the lead singer was prancing around with microphone. Next is gad about, around, to visit different places and have fun, especially when you should be doing something else. uh, it is critical of our ministers, especially their foreign tours. Our ministers gad around when they should be solving the domestic issues. This is a commentary on the World Cup that the ministers went on, the Goa ministers, if you remember. Slither. Now one of the ways I that would also help is combining words with finding the sources of the word. So slither is basically the dialect verb of slither. So you would be able to create some themes that way also, that I'll be discussing in future. So slither, to move somewhere in a smooth controlled way, often close to the ground. Synonym glide, the snake slithered away as we approached, to move somewhere without much control, for example because the ground is steep or wet. Gallivant. Gallivant, to go from place to place, enjoying yourself. You are too old to go gallivanting around Europe. The fertilizers and chemical minister comes gallivanting after a week of stay in Nicobar Island. Again, a bit harsh on our beloved ministers, but true. Scud, to move or run swiftly as if driven forward. Now moving on to the themes of fast movement. So scud, and the way, and a good example is Mark Philipposis, the famous tennis player, is called Scud not for nothing. So that's for his fast shots, and we'll always remember Roger Federer for his graceful shots. Trot, walk fast with short steps. Jasha trotted up. Leg it, to run especially in order to escape from somebody. An example an example that I got from the newspaper for this usage was the donors of body for medical purposes are asked to leg it in government corridors because neither is there information desk for queries over issue of donating cadavers for the noble cause of medical students, and bureaucratic procedures abound. Scurrying away. Scurry is to scuttle, to run with short, quick steps. Several people tried to approach him, but she growled, sending people scurrying away. This is reference to a novel that I read about a dragon. So the dragon is referred to as she. Scoot, to go or leave somewhere in a hurry. I would better scoot or I'll be late. So you can use it in your daily usage if you would like. Twitch, to make a quick movement. Razak, who twitched with supernatural speed to avoid the missile. Then flit, to pass quickly from one place to another. Surprise flitted across her face. Rappel, rappel is abseil. Basically rappel is a word that could be used in the yesteryears of the movies that we saw, where our hero used to use a belt to rappel down the rope. So that's the usage. To descend by sliding down a rope passed under and over the or through a special friction. The hero rappels across the mountain using his belt. Hightail, to move at full speed or rapidly, often in making a retreat. The final word. So that is to move very quickly and at full speed. Orders are to hightail it down to the communications. So I hope these words would help you remember the theme of the movement and use appropriate words to help you describe the movement. Thanks for watching.